So hello my friends, Devaun Lennox here, PhotographyPX. In today's video we'll cover the main highlight features and do an overview of Canon's EOS R5. Do know you can find timestamps and links in the description down below, as well as the pinned comment. And also know this is not a sponsored video. Let's get started. Released in 2020 alongside the lower-end EOS R6, Canon's EOS R5 is the current flagship of the RF lineup, and a camera that sits in the 5 series as the mirrorless counterpart to the 5D Mark IV. Canon's coming out of the gates swinging this year with the debut of several previously unseen features, most notably 8K RAW videos, 4K 120 FPS recording, and a host of new additions to the RF lineup. At first glance, these specifications appear to catapult the camera into an entirely new class of its own, and it appears to be a significant milestone, easily matching the release of their original 5D and 6D series. Canon aims this high-end mirrorless camera at working pros and enthusiasts looking for best-in-class quality, and they also aim this camera as a competitor to Sony's A7R Mark IV and Panasonic's S1R. It features a brand new redesigned sensor. In this case, it obtains a 45 megapixel CMOS sensor with an anti-aliasing filter, and it also includes the latest Digic X image processor, a feature carried over from the 1DX Mark III. The redesigned sensor also provides faster scan rates, which reduces rolling shutter. The camera also offers several smaller compressed JPEG and compressed RAW formats to reduce working file sizes, along with the new HIF JPEG format, which delivers 10-bit compression, providing better dynamic range, color reproduction, and bit depth than standard JPEG alone. The camera also offers continuous shooting speeds of 12 frames per second with the mechanical shutter, or 20 frames per second with the electronic shutter, and both of these sequential high shooting modes maintain continuous autofocus and tracking. And it also has an enormous buffer depth, easily providing 180 RAW or 350 JPEGs when using a CF Express card. On the video front is the debut of 8K DCI video in a mirrorless camera, and in this case the camera shoots 8K DCI 30 FPS video. DCI, if you're not familiar with the term, is the slightly wider 17:9 aspect ratio that's used in cinematography. The camera also shoots standard 16:9 8K UHD up to 30 FPS. It's also the first mirrorless camera to feature 4K DCI up to 120 FPS, and lastly, as standard, it shoots 1080p full HD videos up to 60 frames per second. These resolutions shoot to the MP4 container using all I or IPB compression, all in full frame readouts without any crops. Canon's also equipped this camera with C-Log, which shoots 10-bit 422 internal with the H.265 compression, and they've even equipped the camera with 8K RAW recording, which supplies 12-bit color. New for this release is the 4K HQ mode, which oversamples the camera's 8K resolution and packs it into a 4K 30 FPS video, increasing detail. The camera also obtains the HDR PQ mode, which supplies a 422 10-bit signal during normal recording or 12-bit during RAW. You can also capture 33 megapixel stills from 8K videos, and it has zebras and outputs a clean 10-bit signal for use with external monitors or a clean feed for live streaming. Low light performance is excellent. It features a native ISO range from ISO 100 to 51,200, further expandable to a high setting equivalent of 102/400, and users can expect usable images up to ISO 12,800 with minimal post-processing. For focus, this camera marks the first camera to obtain dual-pixel CMOS AF2 with deep learning technology, a system taken from the flagship 1DX Mark III. This system offers 100% coverage over the imaging area, plus it has 5,940 selectable AF points, along with face, eye, and head detect AF. Combined, the system obtains focus in as little as 0.05 seconds and works down to -6 EV, which currently makes it the fastest to date. The camera also obtains animal eye detect, which confidently tracks the animal's eyes and switches to whole body tracking as they move throughout the frame. Like the 5D Mark IV, you can also fully customize the AF system to your liking via the menus. The camera also obtains the EOS ITR, which is a system that allows you to change the focus transitioning speed and subject tracking responsiveness for best results. Dual pixel AF also works in all recording modes, including 8K RAW and 4K 120 FPS videos, where both face and eye detect AF are available. The camera also obtains both focus peaking, focus magnification, and Canon's focus guide for those who prefer manually focusing. For displays, it features a 3.2-inch vari-angle touchscreen TFT LCD with a resolution of 2.1 million dots and Canon's Clearview 2 coating. This addition officially makes it the first 5 series camera to obtain a side hinge screen, and since it's also a touchscreen, it supports helpful touch gestures including Touch AF and full menu navigation. It also features a 5.76 million dot OLED electronic viewfinder with a 0.76 times magnification, matching the current standards in this class, but new for this release are variable refresh rates, now including both 60 and 120 Hz. Changing the display to 120 Hz improves the refresh rate for smooth movement, making it ideal for tracking sports or wildlife. The camera also obtains a top deck status LCD, a feature taken from the EOS R. This display shows current shooting modes and a myriad of other helpful shooting information at a glance. Physically, the camera follows a similar design and build as the EOS R, besides a few changes. Otherwise, the bodies are largely identical. At 650 grams body alone, it's also similar in weight as the EOS R as well, but it ups the level of durability. It does this through an updated magnesium alloy construction, a similar frame as the 1DX Mark III, which provides similar weather sealing as the 5D Mark IV. Compared to the EOS R, the camera is noticeably more rugged and durable. It also offers similar handling and ergonomics as the 5D Mark IV. Canon's equipped this camera with classic DSLR styling. They've also styled the button layout accordingly. And new for this release are 3 control dials. These replace the touch bar and D-pad from the EOS R, and instead Canon's added a new AF joystick and AF on button for quick AF point selection. But outside of that, it offers 5-axis in-body stabilization, digital image stabilization, HDR, focus bracketing, a built-in intervalometer for time lapses, the 1.6 times APS-C crop mode, extensive in-camera RAW and JPEG processing, the voice memo function, a microphone input, a headphone output, a flash sync port, a USB-C port, dual card slot, and built-in Wi-Fi and Bluetooth connectivity. In the end, Canon's EOS R5 is hyped as the ultimate 8K production camera, and in some specific situations, it surely matches the hype, sure. Particularly if you're filming locked-off shots or short clips. With this release, Canon re-entered the mirrorless world with the best footage possible in any mirrorless camera, and they've surprisingly released a compact camera that rivals their own flagship cinema line, which is a first. But with overheating and strenuous data rates and limited record time, it's not entirely perfect, but as a photographer's camera, it excels in every area and is easy to love. It's hands down their best camera for stills to date. It's interesting to see this release be so divided, but even so, this camera is extraordinarily capable. Canon may have fallen behind in features and performance compared to rivals in recent years, but this camera has changed their fate, and it's a true successor to the acclaimed 5D series. It delivers exceptional ergonomics, design, class-leading autofocus, stabilization, and video capabilities, and it provides immense value, and it's impressive to see Canon produce such a release. Over the last 3 years, they've been rather timid and lacked innovation, but secretly, they were working on developing this new series, and their innovation shows. The EOS R5 is everything users have requested, and those requests have culminated into their best camera to date. So, there you have it, my friends. There are the highlights and overview of Canon's EOS R5. For more information on the EOS R5 and other Canon cameras, check out our website, PhotographyPX.com. Go to our camera reviews page, then to the Canon section, and there you'll see a full detailed written review, as well as other reviews of cameras that may be of interest to you. You can also look at the pinned comment in the description down below, and that will also take you to the full review as well. I've been your host, Devaun Lennox. We will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching today's video. I hope you found the contents of today's video insightful and it added value to you. If you're new here, please consider subscribing if you haven't done so already. Also, leave us a like and a comment in the description down below. Let us know if we overlooked something or we missed something that we covered in today's video. I've been your host, Devaun Lennox. Photography.